Like I say, I could order my armies or my army to do anything I wanted. Anything! My employees would do whatever I asked. I had quite a bit of money. I could have them do almost anything. I could have them research anything. I could have them play with rubber bands all day. I think I did do that one time. I was like, here's a rubber band, go play with it. I want you to play with rubber bands all day. So they played with rubber bands all day. I didn't have anything for them to do, really. I was like, I don't know, go play with rubber bands all day or something like that. Try not to hit yourself in the eye. I was like, play with rubber bands all day. Try not to hit yourself in the eye. I was always very safety conscious, you see. So I told them I didn't have anything for them to do. I was like, I don't know, play with rubber bands all day? Don't hit yourself in the eye? No shooting at the eyes. So, of course, what did they do? They shot at each other's eye. Turns out it's very hard to hit the eye. Well, we hit the eye in 1 out of 3 times with a rubber band. And then I actually started this whole investigation of would a rubber band actually hurt an eyeball if it hit it? I was like, okay, I'll tell you what. Research if a rubber band could actually hurt an eyeball. And so they did. They did. It turns out, no, not unless it was point blank. And even then, like, it doesn't really hurt it that much. Anyway, so yeah, I could ask for almost anything. And they actually did do that experiment. And they were paid to do that experiment. They were paid to do lots of stuff, anything. Like, they're my employees. And they were rather cheap, actually. Like I say, military pay ain't that great. And that's why I say, in general, you military officers, I love you, by the way. You're one of my oldest groups, and yeah, and the military pay is basically like basically you're helping civilization. You're actually purveyors of the civilization. Germany understood this. They're like, well, the pay's crap, but we're actually building roads and everything else. And it's like, oh yeah, and you actually build farms, and you farm for yourself and your community, and that's how military actually got started. Anyway, though, so military really had nothing to do with fighting at all. For a long, long time in general. I mean, there were days of yore or past when an army was basically a town's only defense, but those days are over with a long time ago. In general, they're pretty much useless, other than basically killing other people, or I don't know, or stopping drug dealers. And realistically, more of them are more drug. It's like, well. Yeah, well, Team A is basically cocaine, and Team B is like heroin, and Team C, I think they're working on methamphetamine. But basically, that's what the military does now. So pretty much all kinds of oddities. Like I said, believe it or not, yeah, I mean Jimmy Carter, and all kinds of stuff. Or Jimmy Cart, basically. He was actually a person that was put in charge of a cart or something after some owner. Well, that's another thing. Like I said, they killed the driver and raped the wife or raped the girl, or something like that. And basically, then of course, like it's like, well, the food's got to get to the town. And like I said, one of them, like I said, it's a very long story where they get tired of basically taking the food to the town. So they think, well, if there's no town, then we won't have to take the food to the town or something like that. Anyway, that was the story, but basically they and the truth was that they were actually it was actually a slave town. It was actually Germans, and they were just covering their tracks because they had them making guns or something like that. They wanted to go and kill the president or overthrow a government or something like that. Anyway, it's a slave town, basically, and they ended up raping all the women, and they were raping all the women or something like that. And there's some film or video of them basically killing somebody actually had a camera there, and they actually filmed the Germans actually going through the town and shooting everyone. And it's actually the American soldiers or the United States soldiers after they basically killed the Germans. Like I said, they didn't speak a word of German other than what the German had yelled at them as they were shooting them. So, and then they kind of strung that together in a sentence and figured that meant that they were Germans, because they knew 3 German words. So, like I said, they would run around, they'd walk around through the forest yelling 3 German words, which was basically like don't shoot or something like that, or or you're going to be up on charges or something like that. Or they will know or something. I don't know. It was 3 words that really didn't belong together. It wasn't even a whole sentence. It was like 3 random words, basically, that they knew in German, pretty much. And they walked around. They basically were wearing German uniforms. Anyway, I did a long, lengthy investigation into what was going on in Germany and what had happened. And like I say, Jimmy Carter was linked in it. A bunch of people, basically. Eddie Murphy, eventually, of course, Eddie Murphy turns out to be this psychopath that was basically had this group of people that was giving out cyanide, but nobody knew it was Eddie Murphy, of course, or at least it's suppressed in America and some other, they try and suppress it, but basically China knows a lot of stuff about a lot of different people and knows about the bad people, and they kind of hibernate in America because the American president is more or less kind of like absentee me. I'm the American president, and technically my government, my country has basically been taken over and overrun, basically by a bunch of liars that are a little more public than I am. But anyway, though, that leads to my death. But like I say, whatever, 100 trillion years. I guess you gotta die someday. But anyway, though. But lots of people investigate lots of things on this planet, including the horse and the cart. That's what it's called. Look it up. It's a horse and a cart story. It happened in Germany or Europe. Anyway, I came across it when I was alive and or in existence, and I was like, find out what's going on here. I don't understand why. I want to know why this horse and the cart. Because I put out a question about I was looking for odd things in the world, like strange things, strange disturbances, and stuff like that. And so someone sent in this request for the horse and the cart. They said, we want to know why this horse and the cart stops in the middle of the road. It always does it. Other people did too. Anyway, so they go up there with a film camera and they're filming the horse and the cart. And the horse stops every time. Like I said, they find the bodies, they find the stuff, and then they find the film of the German soldiers shooting the town up. And then they find out what some people that call themselves the vice president or president of America were actually doing back when they were 20 years old or younger, or their fathers were doing, like I say. Apparently, like I say, apparently this is what happened. They were there, they robbed and raped a girl, and then they shot the owner with the apple. The horse ate the apple, and then they went and buried the bodies. And they didn't even know the guy had an apple in his pocket. The horse was down there nuzzling at the guy's jacket or whatever, and ate that and got the apple. Because sometimes the guy would have the horse eat the apple out of the pocket. There's actually lots of film of the horse and the cart and the owner of the horse and the cart. And there's also lots of pictures of everybody, including the tractor team or the dozer that they used to bury both forts and other stuff. And guess who's there? Anyway, like I said, all my equipment, I always had people, whenever you got a piece of equipment from me, Lucifer Star, the owner of America, you would or Germany, they would take a picture. Because, a lot of equipment went missing. And it's like, okay, so this is your tractor, right? Where is it? And later on, they would turn up. And it's like, okay, so you had this tractor in your possession, right? All right, yeah, there's a photo right here with you on it, with you in it. And that's your tractor. That's your serial number of your tractor, right? Signed on the back, right? Yeah, okay. So how exactly did he get it? And it's like, well, seriously, that's called theft. You're going to jail. Because there's a lot of equipment that was just going missing. And then it would turn up somewhere else. It's like, all right, so where's the money? We found the tractor. The guy says he gave you money. And so where's the money? I didn't like things being stolen. So I had pictures taken with people. I had a lot of other equipment without the pictures. But then I started taking the pictures because I wanted to keep everything in line And I want to know when something got sold and stolen.